everyone in Chisinau, in Moldova. How is the weather? Nice. I am in Slovakia now, in Nitra. That's next to Bratislava. And it's raining and it's cold. And it's so gloomy that I miss Chisinau and want to come back. Okay, so we are at the conference now, and the conference for English teachers. And we are discussing how to teach our students the 4 basic skills. And if you were at our summer school in 2015, this was actually the topic of the workshop that I did. The 4 basic skills, the big 4 C's. Do you remember them? Communication. And yes, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So all this conference is all about the skills, how important it is to teach the skills. Like, it's not anything new, but it's always what we have been doing. And the 21st century just asks to put more emphasis on it. We have lots of interesting materials that I will share with you when I come back, starting with young learners, how to incorporate all these 4 skills into our lessons. And as we are today at the Professional Career Development Fair, so we will share experience how we reached this stage in our career. So you know that I have started teaching my teaching career in school. I taught in school for a short while, and I taught students. And then most of the time I work with teachers from all over Moldova. In the last 3 years, I have been teaching online, teaching teachers, giving webinars, and teaching students. So my first question would be, have you ever tried to teach online? And I see you, I see everyone in the audience, so I just need some answers. Have you ever taught online? Never. Do you have private students? So you meet face to face? And you never tried some online experiences, let's say? No. Would you like to try something to teach online? So can you name me some pluses or advantages of teaching online? Is it useful or is it just a waste of time? It's not effective. Okay, save time. What else? Okay, no barriers. You can do it in any weather. Okay. Good. So let me share with you the things that I came up with. The 2 you already mentioned. So this is to save the time. It saves the time for me, and it saves the time for the student. You said that you have sometimes private lessons, and I just can imagine that it takes time just to travel from point A to point B to get to your student. If you do it online, you just switch on your computer, your laptop, and you can have a lesson. So it saves time for both of you. For the student who comes after lessons, has a lot of homework to do, and then just needs to go somewhere else to meet you to have an extra lesson, he can just relax, have his laptop at home, and do practice English online with a teacher who will guide him, who will show him the mistakes, who will give feedback, who will encourage him to study more. You said that there are no barriers, like you can do it in any weather. So I agree here. And I will add that you can do it with anybody. So the students shouldn't be limited just to Moldova or just to the place where you live. No borders if you do it online. You can have students from Brazil, you can have students from Nepal, from Asia, from any place in the world. Just because you speak English, it opens the doors for you. There are a lot of students online who are looking for teachers who know how to teach English, and they are willing to do it with a teacher via internet. It's convenient. So for me, I found it especially convenient as I have 2 kids at home. I cannot leave them. They are too small, so they need me. They depend on me. I depend on them in a way. So it's very convenient for young moms. And you can just put your child to sleep, and you have some extra hours you can spend working online and just teaching English. Another thing that I find very convenient is the materials. The materials that I use in my online classes are all in electronic form. So I do not need any textbooks. I do not need any additional resources to carry with me in heavy bags and so on, to cut the games, glue. Everything is in electronic form. Or if we do some kind of talking activities, speaking activities, I can just show them a card or something, and they just brainstorm ideas, or they create different stories on the spot as I show them some objects. So it's also very convenient. My apartment, my flat is not in all those books, in all those handouts, papers. So everything is nice and clean and arranged nicely, beautifully in my laptop. So that's another plus. And one more, it has an interactive element. So the things that we are talking today at the conference about creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration can be done and must be done nowadays, not only in real life when you meet your students face to face, but your students should be also to do these 4 skills in a virtual online. So they need to know how to collaborate online, how to quickly think and provide solutions online, how to post or to write emails. So these are the things that the modern society asks them to be able to do. And like sometimes we, maybe in class, we come with old-fashioned tasks, like we ask them to write a letter or to write a postcard, but actually maybe they never wrote a postcard in their life. So it would be more appropriate to ask them to write an electronic card, an e-card, or to write an email rather than a letter on paper. So that would be more associated, let's say, with their needs and interests, with the needs of the modern world. And this interactive element is especially liked by young learners. So they like to click something, to move something, to hear some sounds, like when they win a race or play some kind of online game. So they really enjoy it. And I was thinking, so I have now students ranged from 9th grade, whom I teach online, and up. And the oldest is the man who is 63 years old. He is a medical assistant, and he studies English just because he needs it for his business. He is 63, and he is motivated to learn English. He is in Moscow, I am in Chisinau, and I teach him via online platforms. So there are special online platforms that we use. I will not talk about it now, but I would like to share with you some activities that you can do if you are teaching online, and if you would like to teach online, and that you can use with your students in a real class. If you will need an old method, print it on paper and bring it to class and let the students have fun, collaborate, speak English, think critically, and create. So the first thing that I decided to share with you is called Madlib. It's a kind of game, creative collaborative game, which will help students to practice different parts of speech, tenses, or just have fun during the lesson. So you can just do it on the topics that you study or on the grammar topics that you pass with them. It is called Madlib. Have you ever played it? Madlib. Yes. Everyone? No? Okay, then let's do one example. I created one connected with Halloween just because soon we will have this holiday, and I thought that maybe you can try it with your class, so something useful for your students. We will practice parts of speech, adjectives, and some verbs, verb forms. So you will have just to be creative, find a piece of paper, blank piece of paper, your pen or pencil, and just be ready to brainstorm and provide ideas. So the first thing that I need is think of and write on your blank sheet of paper. Number one, nationality, any nationality, and give one example to me. Say it loud. A nationality. Good. Now an adjective. So we are writing a Halloween story. Number two, an adjective. Write on your papers and give me one. Scary. Okay, give me an example of clever people. Number three, clever people. Whatever, clever people. Steve Jobs. It can be a kind of collective noun. Who are the clever people? Okay. Then scientists, yes. Professors. So who is Steve Jobs? Programmers. So I will go with teachers. I like that one. Now, number four, a body part. Yeah. Okay. Now, a type of liquid. Anything, write it in your paper. Water. Next, an adjective. An adjective. Cold. Okay, on your papers. Next one, location. A place. Where can you be? Forest. Good. As next one, I need a scary thing. Scary. Spider. Will you say a spider or an spider? Good. Another scary thing. Snake. I will go with this one. Will you say a snake or an snake? A snake. Good. Now I need a verb. To run. Good. Now I need a body part. We used it once. Let's be more creative. Shoulder. Okay. And I need a noun, but should be in plural form. Liz, okay, you can write your variant in your papers. Now I need a verb, and we should add ing in the end. Camping. Jumping, okay. Jumping, okay. And the last thing, I need a number. Scary story. Okay, now I will share my screen with you, and you will see, and we will read together the story that we have just invented. Do you see it? Okay, so let's read it together. A study discovered that Spanish children like to listen to scary stories on Halloween. Teachers say this is because being frightened causes the head to malfunction and puts water into their blood. Everyone knows that makes kids feel cold. And that is why they prefer to stay in forest on Halloween. When they are scared by a spider or by a snake, boys laugh and run. But girls cover their shoulders with people and screaming and jumping. Most kids get over this by the time they are 13 years old. Okay, so this is the story. We did it together. We collaborated. We had fun. We practiced some parts of speech and we learned something interesting about Halloween. So this is how the original one looks. Just a minute. You see, you have blanks and then they just add the words and they have a completed story. It's nice when they do not see the whole text in the beginning, but they have just to write the words on a sheet of paper, and then they just fill in with those words that they have generated, and they have a funny story in the end. So you can laugh in class, you can talk about Halloween, you can finish it, use as a cool down activity, or you can use it as a warm-up activity to introduce the topic of Halloween. So this was the original, this is our story. Next thing, what else can you do? And if you go to Google and type Madlib, you will get a lot of variants, which you can adapt maybe, or you can use the way it comes. This one I adapted. I just looked how they are done there for Halloween, and I created my own story. Next thing that I wanted to show you is, just a minute. I have lots here, but I will select what I haven't done yet. So that's a letter generator. Do you remember that I told you in the beginning that sometimes teachers ask to write a letter just because it's for the exam or it's asked in the textbook? We have now a free online tool that creates letters for children, and it can also be fun. It is called lettergenerator.org.uk. Between letter you have a dash. So let's try and see how it works. It's easy. The computer, the technology will give you hints, will prompt you, and will give you samples how to do it. So I will be quick. I will open it in my browser and will share the screen with you. If you have computer connection in your classes, you can do it right during the lesson, or you can give it a kind of homework for them to do, or you can do it via your online classes with your students. Screen. Letter generator. What would you like to do? To write a letter to resign from your job, to leave your lover, to give notice to landlord, to issue a school detention, to confess your love, to request an extension, write to politician, whatever. Which one would you like to try? Okay, let's write a letter to politician. So you choose this category and then it comes with prompts. The name of the politician you'd like to write to. So we have Igor Dodon. Two nouns ask this politician. What make him prominent? What make him famous? Aspect. For example, the name of another politician. The cause you are writing about. So you write Igor Dodon about what? What's the topic of your letter? Teacher's salary. How does this course make you feel? The teacher's salary, how does it make you feel? How often does it affect you? Why does it affect you? Something the politician has spoken in favor of this in the past. Okay, so you can complete it, and you have like if student is stuck and can provide an example, you can use a suggestion sheet, and you can find some extra answers. So I will just give them to see how in the end. So you can brainstorm your students, and the last thing you will write, what's your name? And write me an example. And here is how it works. Dear Igor Dodon, I am a member of the Republican Party. I have always found your party's politics somewhat fake and your individual views rather hideous. I believe in the values of morality and freedom. Your hairstyle is ugly and the way you walk is dirty. So it's also generated by computer with some words that you introduced. I'm writing you to ask you to pay attention to science and also hopefully ban animal testing. Don't let your bad relationship with blood the way of progress. So these are the words that we generated. Some prompts computer gave us. This is done in a fun way, but there is another thing. You can also teach your students how to write a letter. Called letter generator on a read write, and it will give steps to the student how to write. So first he will ask you, what's your name? Is it a formal letter? Is it informal letter? Write the address, write the introduction. So the letter will be written individually by the computer will just hints. It will not create a letter. And then they can form when the letter will be generated like formal or informal letter. Okay, so these are the online things that are free that you can use with your students, and the activity that can be practiced online can be done in class and can be connected with any topic or with any grammar thing that you are passing with your students. Now I would like to give the floor to our second speaker, Inna Kalpakova, who is from Russia, who is also an English teacher, and who has, I would say, a better teaching online experience than you do. So you should listen and learn from how she does it. Because I believe the future of education and of teaching English is mostly online. And let this door be also open for you. So meet Inna Kalpakova from Russia, from Rostov-on-Don. Inna, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Do you hear me well? Okay. So, as you know, I'm from Rostov-on-Don, and I have got a Cambridge TKT certificate, and I teach English more than 7 years. I want to talk about teaching English via Skype, and now I'll share my screen, and I hope it will be interesting for you. So, everything is okay, yes? You can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay. So, teaching mentioning with my Skype. We have got some statements. Please, please tell me. I think that everybody knows how to create a Gmail account. Yes. And how to go to Google Drive. Yes. I don't hear you. Sorry. I asked you about. Does everybody know how to go to Google Drive?
Yes, they say
yes. Okay. So you have to first of all you have to go to Gmail. For example, here. So then after that, you have to go to Google Drive. Then you create a folder for your student. For example, I'll take Kira. Then you have to connect to Google Drive the Google application Kami. Now I'll show you that. So you choose to connect other applications. Yes. And then you look for Kami. Just Kami. Without it will be the first Kami. That's all. And you connect it. Then you open the PDF textbook using Kami. And now I'll show what will be next. We have to wait a little time. So your student can work in the textbook using Google Drive and Kami, and your student don't need to download it and to upload it back. Your student can work in Google Drive, and you can check his or her work in every time, because he has got link from Google Drive and you have got the same link. So you choose the button text box, sorry. So you can tap here, and everything is automatically saved. I think it's very comfortable. And you know, when I've got individual students and they haven't got a lot of money to buy British textbooks, they haven't got 2,000 rubles or more, so I also give them the Google Drive and Kami to work. So when they're at my place, they work using my computer, and when they're at home, they work using their computer, and everything is in the same place. So I think, and also there is a textbook, student's book, and workbook. I've created a Gmail for my students because there is not so much place in Google. So I create, for example, 2 or 3 Gmail accounts for my students, because I I don't want they to make their own accounts, because they don't know how to give me access to folder, and it takes a lot of time to make them to give me links and so on. So I usually do it by myself. And also, if you want to teach via Skype, you have to do presentation in PowerPoint, and share your screen with student. So you can share your screen in Skype. Here, calls, звонки, and демонстрация экрана. And then you open your presentation, and so you can explain and use your presentation. Also, you can put here flashcards, for example, or you can put here such tasks like match the picture to the word. For example, you can a lot of tasks. It's like your board. I think also you have to use online tests. For example, present simple tests online. So, and in this case, you give the link to your student, and your student shares his screen with you, so you can see how he works with tests, and you can always correct him. I think it's the main stages of teaching via Skype. Also, I want to add that sometimes if you teach adults, you can not show your face. You can teach without camera, because sometimes adults are not needed in camera. You can just teach them using your voice, presentations, and Kami. And in the end, I wanted to show you one side. It is useful when you want to prepare your kids to dictations. It's worksteps.com. So you can make for free, without any charge, you can make dictionaries. So I made for conference a dictionary, and now we can learn some words. So there are some games, and also you can turn on the timer, but it's very stressful for kids, so I don't do that. And we can start the lesson. So just a second. Next word. Pen. So my student listen and repeat. Pen. Pen.
Rat.
Rat.
Hen.
Hen. Then he matches the word to translation. So cat. Okay, and so on. Now I'll show you. Rat. Hen.
Cat.
And so on, and it repeats and repeats and repeats, and so on. Oh
Pen.
my God.
Rat. Hen.
I won't show you everything because it will be very long. There are a lot of exercises and a lot of games. And so after working with this site for 1 hour, your student will write his or her dictation very good, and maybe he will write very excellent. So also, if you are interested, you can you can write me in VK, and I'll give you a link to my Skype lesson. My Skype lesson is recorded, and you can see it. So if you want, you can write me in VK, and I'll give you all links. I'll give you links for wordsteps.com. I will give you links for my lesson via Skype that was recorded. And also I have got my group where I share my experience. And also I have got a post where I tapped everything about teaching via Skype. If you couldn't write down something, you can look it in my group. So I hope it was interesting. So it was the end.
Thank you. It was something new.
I hope about that. So where I can give a link to my page?
You can type it here in the chat.
Okay, it is easy. vk.com and Prof. Kolpakova. And so if you got any questions, you can write to me, and I'll answer you with pleasure.
Okay, thank you, Ina, very much. Now we are open for the discussion. If there are any questions from the audience,
yes,
please unmute your microphone. Victoria, the volunteer, help us. And you can ask them with your voice.
Okay, I can ask now, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have got any questions, you can ask me now.
Like we need the group there in Moldova to unmute the microphone in your laptop. Up above, there is a sign with a microphone. It's crossed. Click on it and it will be unmuted.
I can share my screen and show this button.
We lost them.
Okay.
Check your cords. If it's unplugged, plug the computer. Yeah, we see you back the screen, but we do not hear you.
Maybe I have to share my screen and to show this button. No? It's okay? Okay. Okay.
Yes, you are typing. Yes, I switched the microphone off because there was the background noise, and you are the ones who should unmute it. Can you leave the call and then come in again? Is there anyone who can help? Larissa, Victoria, who has the link? Any questions? You can use the chat box. You can type your questions here, some feedback, and that's all that we have for the webinar. We see the link for the Skype lesson from Ina. Any questions, any comments from Moldova? If for me you are stuck, I cannot switch the screen to you, I cannot do anything with you. And the screen, I see you a kind of dark screen. We need to learn how to read the lips. Okay, so that's it. No questions. So we will stop it here. If there are any questions, Larissa will deal with it later. She will collect everything. Thank you, Ina, for being a part of this webinar.
Thank you.
And keep in touch. Yes, bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye.